Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel. And it's Saturday, which means it is Star Trek Day. And I am joined by my good friends, the One Ton Hammer
Hello.
and Irate Prostate.
Good afternoon, people.
Let's send our well wishes to Mr. Skeptalk because he is still very ill, so he is not able to join us
I'm
today.
actually praying for him.
Yes,
Yes. So
yeah. He's
sending love in his direction.
Yeah, he's pretty ill. So if you are of the praying nature, you may do so. If you are the good energy sending type, do that. Keep him in your thoughts, all that good stuff. And here we are to review. Starting at the beginning of the list of movies, we are doing the motion picture today, which is not. So my thing about this movie is the idea is really good, especially because of the timing. You know, the launch of the Voyager probes 2 years prior. Um, it's an interesting idea. You know, what would happen to the Voyager probes if they were taken across the galaxy? Um, what would happen? Because this whole movie is about the Enterprise trying to stop a big cloud that is coming for Earth. They're trying to figure out the intent, I guess, of this intruder cloud thing, um, and they're trying to stop it from reaching Earth and destroying Earth. And that's the whole premise, basically, of the movie. Um, and there are some really great nods to the series for fans. Like if you watched the original series, you would know why there was so much tension between Kirk and Captain Decker, right? You would know that that's supposed to be Commodore Decker's kid, right? Like that's
Right.
I like that. But the execution was terrible. Oh my god. Poor Pinkalo. Poor Pinkalo.
All right. Here's my take on it. All right. I think this was a really good extended play episode,
Yeah.
but it's not a movie, in my opinion.
No.
It's not cinematic. Um, and it tries to be so
It
hard.
does. It does.
It's really hard. It's
Like
really doing it.
Pinkalo spent so much time just talking about camera angles last night.
Oh my God! And the visual effects did not stand. Cannot. No, they don't. They suffer the test of time. Because in some places, like the model building was fantastic, right? But then there's like these matte paintings that are like, it's like especially like when they're on V'ger,
Yeah.
there's like all this black, right? That's a painting, and you can tell
Yeah,
because there's
Pinkalo was like, "Oh, look, more backdrops. Oh,
yeah,
look, I can see the painting. Look, the people are painted." You know?
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Like
So
in when you see the when you look at Kirk when he first comes to Starfleet headquarters, there it's a very obvious backdrop painting. Like when he
mm,
comes out of the shuttle, like
yes,
Pinkalo's like, "Oh, look, a
yeah,
backdrop."
totally.
Like
It was you could tell it was painted.
yeah.
It was like,
It,
oh,
it's like I said, it was good. It was a good idea. But and the crappy part is that it borrowed so much from the Nomad episode. Like it was so close to
mm,
Nomad. That was the other problem. Like, and it could have been different. Like they had the ability to make it different from Nomad, but that whole V'ger seeks the creator, right? That whole concept of V'ger seeking the creator. What was Nomad doing?
mm,
It was the same thing. It's just that Nomad knew who the creator was and thought it was Kirk, right? But
Mm-hmm.
V'ger didn't specifically know, like, have a name for the creator, like Nomad did. It had an idea that the creator came from Earth, but it didn't know, like, no, like, it didn't have a name like the way Nomad did. But it was so similar to Nomad. I was looking at, like, I was watching it when V'ger seeks the creator, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is Nomad. It's and it kind of bugged me because there was such a good concept of, like I said, the Voyager probe getting sucked through a black hole and finding a planet of machines, which I would like to know. Do you guys hold with the fan theory that V'ger is the origin of the Borg? Have you heard that fan theory?
Yes.
I've heard it.
What do you think about it? Do you think that that holds water, or do you think that that doesn't work?
I guess it's possible. I mean, what we know is the real, actual Voyager probe, which is still heading out into space,
Yeah.
traveling faster than anything we've ever created before. But it's only about 3 years left on its reactor before it goes dead. I guess it's possible, but it is quite the stretch.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my take on it. I
what do you
think I think they tried to connect it to the entity that the data planet was trying to connect to. I think
the Binar planet?
yeah, Robo Thulu, at the end of Picard, the last Picard episode. Yeah.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah, maybe. Because I was like, well, it's like the Borg had to come from somewhere. And all right, so we found out where they came from.
They came from the Delta Quadrant, right? So we think, right?
Yeah.
The Borg is from the Delta Quadrant. So you think that this is a connection to whatever the hell cybernetic technology thing that the androids from Picard were trying to call
Yes,
for.
exactly. I think they were trying to bring that full circle. And I also want to comment that the Klingons in the movie look like shit, but they look better than the STD Klingons.
Pinkala asked why they all looked like Worf.
They had like this big ridge. They all had the same ridge on their head. It looked like there was a snake on their head, right?
Yeah.
And they just cut off part of it,
And he also said he was describing, he's like, there's so much visual sexual innuendo in this movie.
Mm.
He's like, the Klingon birds of prey look like dicks. If you look, he's like, they're very phallic. And then V'ger itself, if you look at like the cloud, there's so many sphincter shape. Like he's like the glowing sphincter of doom.
Opening and closing.
Closing, yeah. It's Pinkala.
Would you like me to explain?
Yeah.
Would you like me to explain where
Sure.
I came up with this? Okay. So look at the lead Klingon bird of prey as it goes to fire, right? And the pan up comes from, look at the front of the ship as it's going to fire its initial torpedo. That is the head of a penis.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, they all Klingon.
No, seriously,
yeah,
it is. Look at it.
The D7
It even
design.
has the little groove that comes down after the hole. Pull up a picture of it. I guarantee.
And then
it.
when the torpedo comes out.
No.
No.
I can't agree with you that
watch the first scene.
the area
Forget it.
between the front of the ship and the back of the ship is way too thin compared
the
to
area
the end.
is too thin.
Yeah, the if you look at your bird of prey from that era, it's the same one they use in the TV show. And you see it in like Discovered Country. They show
Yeah.
that same exact model that they used. It very much has a very large head and a very small shaft. It does not look like an actual.
Maybe
Gremlin
it looks like
Pirate Pete.
Pincalo's dick, right?
Gremlin Pirate Pete actually says does not hold water. Guinan says the Borg were many thousands of years old, and Voyager was only about 400 at the time.
He's not taking into account time dilation through a wormhole.
Mm.
Oh, ooh, snap.
That's true.
We're going to get all scientific now.
Oh, hello, Original Shroom.
Oh, hey, Shroom.
So yeah, I've often, well, the reason I was thinking about the Borg was because they kept saying V'ger wants to join with the Creator.
Mm.
And then what happened with Decker at the end, because he's the one who basically keys the final sequence, because what V'ger is doing is it's waiting for the final code, the command to transmit all its data back to Earth, and it's looking for the person to come and enter it manually so that it can join with the Creator.
Very deceitful.
Yes.
Come to me and put in the code, and when you do, I actually won't transmit data. Instead, I'll hijack you.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
all right, let's we're getting ahead of the this because there's some shit I wanted to say. Like the first 5 minutes that Kirk is on the Enterprise, two people die.
Yep.
I find that to be very traumatic too. Everyone talks about how boring this movie is.
That was pretty dramatic.
I can't watch that part. I've seen it a couple times and now I can't watch it anymore. The people screaming and stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty dark for original series Trek.
And they still beam Bones over anyway.
Well, they got to fix.
Yeah, I guess.
If
Bones had known that shit, he would have said no.
Anyone else really love DeForest Kelley? Like, he's just great in everything in Trek, but in this movie he was awesome. Just, not only your straightforward, usual Bones, but he truly showed his ability to be not only a good friend but a good advisor. To say the things that your friend doesn't want to hear, but you gotta say them anyway.
Well, he had a few episodes back in the original series where he did that. The one where Kirk's all upset and he puts his hand on his arm and says, "Don't destroy the one called Kirk."
Yes.
That was very reminiscent of that scene then too.
Agreed.
Oh, and the uniforms, the horrible beige uniforms.
I thought they were black or white and gray.
They're beige, gray, and black, and then the engineering has these white uniforms with these weird black collars on them, and they're the only ones that are different for some reason. And the uniforms look like Space 1999. They're strongly similar to that, and a lot of porn stashes too. I noticed that. So there was signs of the times.
But yeah, that transporter scene, I actually, because I've seen this movie a couple of times before last night, I actually forgot about that scene.
It's the first thing that comes to mind whenever we talk about the show to me. I'm like, ooh. Yeah, that's hard to watch.
That was, I was kind of sitting there going, holy shit. And even the whole episode, the whole crew was just like, oh my god. Like even Kirk, even William Shatner even says, "Oh my god," right? Like, and you don't usually hear that from him. Like it's pretty hard to rattle Kirk.
Yeah.
Um and but the fact that this is such an imminent issue is shown in that scene because two people die, but and Kirk has to basically go, wow, that was horrible to watch. Okay, everybody. Please fix that, and we need to leave now. Like it, it was your very, I think that was really well played. Because it's very true. It's if something were that, if there was something that dangerous heading for Earth, if something like that happened, that would be horribly sad.
Mm.
But you gotta keep going. Like,
And how big is this thing? Because it's like, it looks like it's like bigger than Jupiter, right?
they said it was 82 AUs, so astronomical units.
Astronomical unit is the distance between the Earth and the Sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
It's pretty big.
I think that's, wait, what is the
It's
don't
AU
know what
is Earth to the Sun. That's 1 AU,
yeah.
our distance to the Sun. And so 82 of those. That's how big it is.
So let's see, 93 million miles times 82. That's how big it is.
I can do it.
Big.
Yeah. Super big. And at the end, and at the center of this thing is the Voyager probe, I guess. It's
Okay, that's 7,626,000,000
wow.
miles.
That's a big freaking cloud.
That's a fucking huge cloud.
That's basically a solar system on the move.
Right.
it's yeah. And the other interesting thing about this movie, I guess the subplot you could say, is Spock. And his failed Kolinar.
He's salty as shit.
Oh my! Anyone else? Did anyone else feel like he was almost blaming them at first?
Oh, dude, he was
For
so
his
pissed
lack of, for his failure at Kolinar. Like,
Yeah.
does anyone get the feeling that he was resenting Kirk and McCoy a little bit? Like maybe the illogical human side of him was like,
Right.
if I wasn't if I wasn't friends with you, and I didn't, what I like. That's what it felt like. It almost felt like in that meeting with Kirk and McCoy, where Kirk's like 3 different times. He's like, would you sit down? Just sit. Just please sit. Right? It really felt like Spock was just like, I'm really pissed off and you guys are the closest target, so I'm just gonna be really shitty to you guys. By Vulcan standards, I guess. But the fact that he also kind of in trying to understand V'ger kind of understood himself a little bit. That was kind of an interesting arc.
Yeah, it was almost like it when he woke up from that, it was like he was relaxed
Yeah.
and like at peace with himself.
Yeah.
Right? There had been some kind of a cathartic thing.
Like he showed a bit of like he laughed
Yeah.
a bit and he had some and he had some tearful moments, but it wasn't like he was overwrought with emotion. He was almost balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Because before, when he showed up on the ship, he was uber Vulcan, right? Like he was, he put Tuvok and Sarek to shame. He was just like, I am almost a robot. And then when he melds with with V'ger, he becomes like almost like it's like he reverts back to older, original series Spock, where he's able to still be Vulcan, but he's able to think more, not illogically, but he's able to accept the human part of him. That's all that's what I thought.
I don't disagree.
I saw the father from Seventh Heaven in Star Trek the Motion Picture. It shocked me to my core because he's a pedophile in real life. Who is he playing?
The actor Collins? Something Collins.
Who did he play in the motion picture? Was he Deckard?
He played the dad. Deckard, yeah. Yes. Stephen Collins is his name.
Okay. So he played Decker. And that is Commodore Decker's kid, right? That's supposed to be Commodore Decker's.
Yeah, and you can tell he's the template for Will Riker, obviously.
You think?
Oh yeah, there's you can tell there's the germination of the next generation, and I think Roddenberry realized that with this movie that what he really wanted to do was not going to translate to the TOS stuff, and he was going to have to take it, I think, because the relationship between he and the Persis Kambata's character, I can't remember her name,
Aliyah, I think.
Yeah, right. It reminded me of Troy and Riker,
A little
but
bit.
celibate, right? Without the sexual component, but you can tell, dude, that dude's so horny for the chick, it's just ridiculous.
And she is so freaking ditzy, like that. Like during when they go through when their warp engines create a wormhole. And and the wormhole, and they finally finish the they get rid of the wormhole. Pincolo points out, because everyone, the time dilation, and everyone's all weird, like, distorted and everything. But when they finally go back to normal, Ilya's still jiggling for, 20 seconds after everyone else is done.
That's the director.
She's still going.
That's the director. The director tells the actors when to do that.
That makes no sense. It's like, you're the only one jiggling still? What?
Did we address what Pete's saying in chat?
About the transporter?
Yeah.
I was about to bring that up. What was he saying? Is this the first time that they were conscious during transport? Because I think in the next movie he says,
you're definitely conscious while transporting. That's definitely true.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with the original Shroom that DeForest Kelley is just the quintessential. He's like if you're, I don't know, in my situation, because he's Southern and he's kind of has this kind of no bullshit kind of thing about him. I really love that character. And
out of all of the Trek doctors, I would want him as my doctor.
No shit.
He liked Star Trek a lot because his career up to that point, he always played bad guys.
Yeah.
And when he got the role for Star Trek, he embraced it because it's the first time he got to play a good guy. He was very happy with Star Trek.
No, I would love to have him as my doctor because he could, he's a doctor's doctor, right? So he's, true to his Hippocratic oath, and he, he's a caring, kind man. But
so is Beverly.
Well, yeah, but there's a different. Beverly is responsible for the entire happenings on board the Enterprise during the Naked Now. Because
Okay.
if she hadn't turned her back on Geordi for 5 seconds, he wouldn't have wandered out of sickbay and spread it everywhere. But she just wandered into her office and left him there. Anyway.
I'd rather have a Voyager doctor, really.
See, that's the hard... Because I would want Voyager's doctor because of the ability to... Like, he's so good at finding weird, unthinkable cures for things.
Yeah, I would like him, not because he's proficient, but because he's a sarcastic ass.
Yes, yes.
How much fun would it be to hang around that guy?
But DeForest Kelly McCoy can be a sarcastic ass.
I guess, but I mean, the doctor on Voyager takes it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You never see Bones roll his eyes at somebody or something like that.
You know, if there's say what you will about Threshold, say what you will about the episode Threshold, but the best line in that is Janeway going to the doctor. Can you wake him? I don't see why not. Wake up, Lieutenant.
I announced this in chat, but I need to say it for everybody. If you sub to Blind Trask right now and you're not sub to her, you can be number 666.
Yes, you
That's
can.
Right. Be a beast. Click subscribe now and ring that bell.
Absolutely. So yeah, I really love like I said, the story of this movie is a great idea. I didn't like the execution of it.
That's a great idea again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great idea again.
But it's a different resolution than all the other original series movies, because all the original series movies, or shows, I guess you would say, Kirk talks the computer into killing itself.
Yeah.
Landru, he talks it and it kills itself.
Nomad.
He talks to computers and they freak out and blow up.
Yeah.
He uses his arguments against them. So in this one, he doesn't have that option.
No.
And this time, the computer is much more powerful and smarter than he is. So,
and it's Spock's comparison of it to a child was very apt, though. Because it really was a child. It had learned all it could learn, but it needed that. It needed that extra component, that extra leap of faith that humans can make, that computers can't, to evolve. Original shroom. What is wrong with you, Pulaski?
She should fall down an elevator shaft. Only a few people are going to get that.
She should have gotten the... Oh, that's from a a movie that she was in before, wasn't it?
No, it's a television show.
Or a television show.
Yeah, that's how they wrote her character off, is they had her fall down an elevator shaft. She fell down that shaft. I was just giggling like a little boy. I was like, yeah, that's how you get rid of a character.
She against Diana Muldaur.
She should have been in that turbo lift. Do you remember the Contagion episode? and there's the scene where Geordi takes the turbo lift to the bridge to try and get them not to fire a probe, and the turbo lift goes crazy and like pinballs him everywhere. She should have gotten that treatment. I hate Pulaski. I hate her. Every time I watch Shades of Grey, I go, yes, this is such a bad episode, but it's the last one with Pulaski in it. Yes!
But she was good in her roles in the original series, though.
Yes.
I will give her that. And she was a very, very pretty woman back then.
Dude.
Yeah. That episode where with Sargon, where she became the host for Felicia, I think her name was it Sargon's wife?
Yeah.
Man, she was a looker back then. I was like, oh my God, that's Diana
And
Muldaur.
her
She's
voice
beautiful.
is nice. Like she has the
It's unique.
yeah, she has the
Yeah.
capacity to have a
It's a
nice
sexy voice.
but as Pulaski, she just sounded like a bitch.
Yeah, she sure did. Absolutely.
Pulaski never had sex with a space ghost either. That's true. That's true. That was a terrible episode.
You got true believers in that chat, man. You got to salute them.
That was a fucking terrible episode. I'm with you on that one, Grill and Pirate Pete. Sub Rosa was awful. Like, if we ever do a stream on, like, the worst episodes, I think I might have to pick Sub Rosa.
Everyone's going to pick Threshold, though.
Because Gates McFadden, like, her infatuation with this dude and their whole sex scene, it wasn't even believable. It was horrible. It was so badly acted.
She was given great. She was very much a Voyager actor. She was given really, really, really great roles and really, really horrible roles throughout her series. That the episode "Remember Me" was brilliant. One of my best favorite shows by far, in my top 5 easily. But then you have shows that were just, oh my God, what were they thinking? They wrote her awful, and she didn't know how to act it because it was written so awful.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just, I can understand, and they fired her.
Mm.
We wouldn't have Pulaski if it wasn't for the fact that they actually fired the actress.
And then they brought her back because
the fans.
Like,
yeah.
No, I definitely like Crusher. There were some episodes like that one.
There should have been a TOS episode
where
they blinked.
Oh, okay, Shroom, I misunderstood you. You were answering Pete's question as to who was the worst Doctor, and you said Pulaski. Okay, I misunderstood you, and I agree with you on that one, Shroom. She's my least favorite. And you know what? Phlox really grew on me.
Yeah.
I didn't like Phlox at first, but
I like the actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that pulled off a lot of Phlox because he wasn't really written very well, but he's a great actor and a unique personality. So it made the role more interesting than it was written.
Well, and I like the idea of the medicine being more like organically or Eastern kind of philosophically based, using animals and plants and shit instead of synthesized drugs.
Only because it was in a time period where
that was still
those high-end synthesized drugs weren't available yet,
or they were being designed at the time, like they were in production.
It always made me wonder. There's an episode of TNG called "The World Is Hollow and I Have Touched the Sky." It's about a race of beings who are on a planet that's actually a ship. It's a round ship, and it's called the Fabrini. And I'm sorry, it's not TNG, it's TOS. And
I was going to say, that does not sound like a TNG
Yeah,
episode.
That's just a verbal typo. And then they find this huge library of medical database information. And it's going to take scholars centuries to go through all of this medical stuff. And I always wondered if the reason that by the time TNG rolls around, we're so proficient at solving the common cold and cancer and radiation sickness, all of these things that we can't touch right now, is because the library of the Fabrini was actually explored and implemented. And that's why we got such a head start in TNG.
That might be why, because remember, there's a couple of episodes in the first season where, like in Data lore, where Data's pretending to sneeze or practicing sneezing, and Wesley's like, "Do you have a cold?" And he goes, "A cold what?" and Wesley goes, "Oh, it's just a disease that my mom says people used to get."
Right.
It's like, or in the episode where the Ferengi, that Daemon, what the hell's his name?
Well,
The guy,
we can cure um, the whatchamacallit, the radiation sickness. They do it
but
multiple times.
we can cure radiation sickness.
Hyrule.
But what's a headache? You know, like
Yeah, yeah.
because Picard's got a headache, and Crutcher's like, "Oh, what?" You know, like,
Even in the movie, because Lily gets theta radiation poisoning. Data says it's coming from the damaged throttle assembly, and she says, "Don't worry, I'll keep her asleep." But again, it's radiation poisoning, and Beverly's kind of like, "Oh, well, it's just radiation. We can fix that, you know." And I think to myself, "Wait a minute, radiation poisoning? We have no idea how to fix that."
Girl and Pirate Pete says, "So does it say how much everyone hates movie one because we are now talking about episodes after half an hour?"
Yeah, we have a tendency to
It
want.
kind of says it all, doesn't it?
It does, because that's the thing, is that it wasn't worth being a movie, I don't think.
We want the show to be much more entertaining than the movie was.
It was 2 hours of, like, it should not have been 2 hours.
No.
Like, if it was to be a movie, that should have been like maybe 80 minutes. Not.
I just want to know who was the guy that didn't say, "Hey, this sounds a lot like the the Nomad episode."
Yeah, why didn't anyone, when they were doing the script writing of this movie, go, "Okay, we need to change a few things around here because we've done this already."
That would kind of actually be typical of Star Trek, because they took that, and how many episodes of TOS did they do where they had to outwit a computer? It was like
That's
5
true.
or 6 episodes.
That's true.
So they're
We
just
had-
falling back on what they've always done, and it was successful.
That's true, because
The
we
thing
had
is,
to be right.
the concept is the same, but the idea is the same, but the execution is completely different.
Yeah, because
So-
like you said, the computer.
I think they wanted to take something that they knew was tried and true, that they had done before and was successful, and just go with it. That's typical Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, you make a movie, let's make 5 sequels to that movie.
Right.
How many transporters do we have? How many,
Yeah.
how many Star Wars do we have? And just keep making sequels. And that's really what this is. This is just the next version of Nomad. Same story all over again.
Yeah, but I think with the next 4 or the next 5 movies, they actually tried to. I think they figured out. Like, because when we get into, like, the Wrath of Khan and the Search for Spock,
I
and
still think Wrath of Khan was the best one of all of them. I mean, it's pretty close to me with Undiscovered Country, but I really think Wrath of Khan, because he's such an iconic bad guy, that of all the movies, that's probably my best favorite one.
Yeah, it's the most cinematic, man. It's got tension. It's there's
the music is great.
dude, the soundtrack is
Elements
off
of
the chain.
horror.
Our elements of horror,
Action.
yeah, action. You've got dialogue that is amazing.
High drama.
Yeah,
Spock dies.
like, yeah, Spock dies, and then you've got Ricardo Montalban, like when he's sitting there going, "Buried alive, buried alive."
All right, check this out, y'all. All right, I'm looking at the Star Trek films, and there's 3 trilogy, Blu-ray. Well, there's a trilogy, and it's the second movie, the third movie, and the fourth movie.
Makes sense.
That's how much they hated the first one.
Star
No, it
Trek
makes
motion
sense
picture
because-
trilogy.
No, it makes sense though,
It
because
does,
the
doesn't it?
stories tie together. Because
Yeah,
you've
they
got
do, yeah.
Wrath of Khan, and then
Yeah.
you've got the Search for
for
Spock,
Spock,
and then
right,
you've
and
got the Voyage
Voyage
Home,
Home.
because Spock is still all fucked up
Yeah.
in the Voyage Home from the Search for Spock.
Your name is Jim.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot more you probably want to remember, but that's a good start.
Yeah.
I know. In the movie, it's pretty dramatic and everyone smiles and everyone feels good and all that kind of stuff. But I always thought to myself, well, yeah. But that's the easy part, Spock. He got a lot more to come up on.
Grillin' Pirate Pete says, "Are we going to talk about how the even-numbered movies are good, but the odd-numbered
Yeah, I've
movies
heard
are
that.
crap?"
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Search for Spock was good.
Yeah, it was not bad. I don't know how
The
good it
Final
was.
Frontier was awful. Generations was great. And Insurrection I liked. I
don't
didn't
know
like
if I can
Nemesis
agree.
though. I can't stand Nemesis. Nemesis makes me angry and sad and angry and sad.
All right, so the screenplay was by Harold Livingston. Who the hell is that?
I don't know.
He's a TNG writer, isn't he? Livingston?
Let's see. He was born in 1924. I think he's still alive. Holy shit, he's old. You know, it's like 96.
First Contact is awesome, but that's an even-numbered movie. That was 8.
Well, even numbered movies are the successful ones.
Yeah.
Con is number 2.
That's what Grillin' Pirate Pete was saying. Do we want to talk about how
So he had written episodes of Mission Impossible and TOS by Desilu Productions, right? And then he also did Barbary Coast, which I remember that series with Shatner. It was like in the 1800s in San Francisco. So, yeah, man.
But you mentioned before about the Borg. Wasn't Ilea? Didn't she became a robot?
Yeah, because V'ger...
She became a Data, right?
V'ger basically took all of her memory patterns and built an android type.
Yeah. She's Data.
Yeah, that's what Pink Hollow said. He's like, it's an early Data, basically.
Have you ever seen pictures of her with hair?
I don't.
Perseus Kambata was her name.
Dude, she was a fox.
Oh my God, she was smoking hot.
Yeah.
I
Didn't she
like her
die
voice.
like 3 years after the movie was made or something?
She died at 49. She got into a car accident in Germany when she was 48 and it did damage to her heart. And then 49, she had a heart attack because of it and died early. So like 2 months before her 50th birthday. She died young.
Yeah, she was a model.
She was amazing. She was very pretty. It's so
almost as hot as Padma Lakshmi.
So pretty that you can shave off all of her hair and you still want to go after her.
She was still hot.
She was, yeah.
Well, oh, come on, man. That little kimono thing that
didn't leave a whole lot of
V'ger popped her
imagination.
into. No shit.
She wore a kimono that
No, dude, it's your theory. It's your theory of I guess we'll call it the triangle of reproduction, right? Where they always zoom the camera in, and it's like always catches that part of
yeah, I wanted to describe what she was wearing to
yeah
impress is the whole top of it is very Japanese kimono style, big wide sleeves and all that kind of stuff. But when it gets to the hips, if you were looking straight at her, the outfit came down to maybe an inch below her crotch. It was that high. As she walked,
if an
the
inch.
camera was at the right angle, you'd see everything that she had. I mean, you'd see her underwear, I guess, whatever. But the point being is that the top was so very traditional Japanese with a sash and the black and the white, and it was very, very Japanese. But then they just said, well, we got to make it sexy. Let's just not put a bottom on it. Because there was no bottom to it. She was just all legs after that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And she was a pretty tall girl, and she had no problems.
Very leggy. Yeah.
But she actually shaved. That was not a prosthetic. They shaved her head, no hair. She cried when they did it. So, but then they powdered her head so it didn't shine, and then they put on her makeup, and she was okay.
She
but
Nemesis
that's a shame
has the
'cause
best
she was.
Nemesis has the best weapons, says Dectran.
Nemesis has the best weapons. Well, it has certainly the best. Well, maybe not the best fight. That ship takes on, what, 2 or 3 Romulan ships and the Enterprise.
Yeah.
and takes everything the Enterprise could throw at it, and was still okay.
Yeah.
So you had to ram it to kill it.
Girl Empire Pete says it reminds me of how sexy it is when your girl wears your white button-up shirt and nothing else.
That's right. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. It's a men's shirt with no pants. That's very much what that is. He's right. That is sexy too.
Yeah.
And Girl Empire Pete also says the search for Spock until the Klingon captain starts speaking English. Then it just reminds me of Reverend Jim from Taxi.
It's the same actor, right?
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, shit. I did not know that.
It's the guy from, I can't remember his name, but yeah, it's Jim from Taxi. Was it The Void Show? It's the one where Kirk kicks him in the face and says, I have had enough of you. And kicks him in the face and he falls into the volcano.
I thought
that actor is the guy. That's the guy Jim from Taxi. It's the same guy.
Oh, I thought that was. Is that from An Undiscovered Country when he does that? No.
No. Undiscovered Country is a different actor. He's the one that keeps quoting Shakespeare all the time. That's a different guy.
Right.
But they're both well known.
No, that dude is the guy that played the scientist in Back to the Future.
Yeah, same guy.
Yeah.
Remember his name.
Very cool.
Yeah, and his Klingon was fucking awesome. I thought. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
I'm trying to do a quick search, but of course, finding this shit on the internet's hard.
No, he fights the Klingon.
David
bastard
Warner
who kills his son. David Warner.
Christopher Plummer is the Klingon from the Undiscovered Country.
That's it.
Oh.
Yeah, Christopher Plummer is from the Undiscovered Country.
Yes.
So since we are still gonna do Wrath of Khan, right? Because we talked about Khan as a villain, but we haven't. I think we should still do the whole movie since we're doing the movies. I think we should do the movie as a whole.
Christopher Lloyd is the name of the actor.
Ding. Right. There you go. Thanks.
From Taxi and Marty, we have to send you back to the future.
Yeah.
It's your kids. It's your kids.
Something has to be done about your kids. Yeah, that's two Christophers. Christopher Plummer and Christopher Lloyd.
Ding.
Thank you. So loud.
So we have 4th of July next week. Do we want to do a stream next week, or do you guys have plans?
I have no plans.
All right. Do you have plans?
I specifically talked to the girlfriend, and she says, "I just want."
I don't have any specific plans right now, but no, I can be here.
All right. And since StreamYard has set up mobile streaming now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got an email from them yesterday.
But better try it. Make sure it works.
Yeah, I'm going to before I do anything. But
so you're gonna be doing the stream through cell technology?
I may, yes.
That'd be interesting.
So we'll do Wrath of Khan next Saturday, and hopefully Skep Talk will be able to join us next week. Hopefully, because the what we're doing with Patreon is when I get to 10 patrons, what we'll start doing is watching, because Pincalo describes the movies to me so that I can so that I can review them properly. So what we're going to start doing is doing the watch along. You guys can, and all the Patreon tiers, or this covers all Patreon tiers. You can come and join us in Discord and listen to Pincalo describe movies to me. So yeah, we have 6 more to go before we get there.
With Discord, if you have the bandwidth and the computer, you can just watch the movie with your patrons.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what we plan on doing.
Oh, that's sweet. What kind of movies do you guys do?
Well, what we're gonna do, I might pick.
Let the Patron
We
people
might
pick.
let the Patreons pick. I know I'd like to sit down and watch Ash versus Evil Dead again, so I might do that with patrons. Because that's a fun show.
That series, yeah.
Yeah. So
I didn't finish it out either.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I haven't seen the last
Season 3's
season.
up on Netflix now.
Sweet.
The whole series is up. So.
If you ever run into a situation where you guys want to do a movie, but you don't have the movie, drop me a line.
Cool.
Because I have the movie, whatever it is.
I have it all.
I do. I mean, I have Suburban Sasquatch, so I have every movie. That's an ongoing joke for anybody who knows Polydub.
And so on that note, my friends, I'd like to thank you all for watching and hanging out with us. Come and join Pink Hollow and I tomorrow for another Blind and Special. And remember, the elliptical challenge is still going on. So $2 a minute and $5 you can choose the incline and resistance.
Jesus.
Also, I am 29 followers away from 100 followers over on Instagram, and I'll be doing 3 times a week my elliptical runs live over there when I get to 100 followers. And what else? Oh, yes. If anyone is not doing anything after this stream, please go over to twitch.tv/OBSRattlehead. I'll put it in chat. There is an all-blind Xbox tournament right now on Twitch for MK11. I'm about to go over and watch it.
Skip!
And
Skip's in the chat.
Skippy! I hope you're feeling better, dude.
Hey, Skip, how you doing, buddy?
Get some rest, my friend. But yes, go and take a look over at twitch.tv/OBSRattlehead. There is a whole bunch of blind people in a Mortal Kombat 11 tournament right now.
Sweet.
So if you've ever wanted to see blind people play Mortal Kombat, go watch that. And they're also giving away a few PlayStation 4 codes for the Aftermath expansion. So
oh, sweet.
I'm gonna go over there and hopefully win one. On that note, guys, thank you all for watching. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your Saturday. Irate, who do you have tomorrow?
Cass Warfox.
Nice.
Yeah. Guy I hadn't talked to in quite a while, so thought I'd catch up and see what he's up to. And Thursday we'll finish season 2 of What We Do in the Shadows. Maybe the funniest series I've seen in a long time. I guess second to the Orville. So
I'll check it out.
Yeah, the Orville kind of gets serious though. So, but this is funny as shit, man. I mean, my God, it's just good, funny stuff. I didn't think comedy was possible anymore.
Yeah, I know, right?
These guys pulled me out of a deep, dark hole I was in. So
nice.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff.
Well, my friends, thank you for watching, and thank you to Irate and Hammer for joining me. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Bye,
have
buddy.
An awesome day. Thanks for watching, guys.
Peace out, fam.